Today, on Be Something Wonderful, what to do when you've lost faith and just don't believe anymore. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. We're back from a beautiful experience at the Gaia Ayahuasca Retreat Center there in Cuenca, Ecuador. And I have a big video for you today. The conversation yesterday was the conversation around gratitude and love and having conditional gratitude, having conditional love, having conditional faith. And this particular creator said, after that video that you talked about the quote, I quoted a shaman at the Gaia Retreat Center that said, just when you're sick and tired of saying thank you, thank you, thank you, say it some more. He said, that hit me like a brick. He goes, I realized that my faith, that my gratitude, that my love for that wish fulfilled, for that fulfillment that's already within me is conditional. This is what he said. That did it for me. I realized my faith and gratitude was conditional. That God, that my higher self always hears me. Hear the words here. That it's always unfolding for me, through me, and as me. That I love this idea that God and my higher self always hears me and it's always unfolding. It reminds me of the story of the resurrection of Lazarus and when Jesus is praying, which we'll touch on today. And he mentions that him and his specific person are back flirting and seeing each other again after months of no contact. And that his work, that his energy is back. He felt that he was out of energy, out of a willingness to say gratitude, right? Sick and tired for sure. And that his work's amazing. So powerful, right? Just when you're sick and tired of saying thank you, say it some more. Wow. Let's talk about this idea today and more. Remember, and we had this discussion yesterday, you are never more powerful than in that moment when conditions and circumstances couldn't look more negative or contrary, when nothing seems to be moving or unfolding or manifesting for you, as you, and through you. You're never more powerful in that moment. That moment, no matter how long it seems to have been, because we talk about it's been so long, a year, 3 months, 2 months, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, whatever the time is, that moment, no matter how long it seems to have been, when your faith appears to be tested, you're never more powerful, right? You're fed up, you're frustrated, you're devastated in some cases, you're annoyed, or you just give up and don't believe in this manifesting or reality creation stuff. That's what he was talking about, right? Your dreams, your desires, or what you want to be and have seem to be dead, right? I'm moving into the story of Lazarus and the resurrection of Lazarus. Your dreams and everything you want seems to be dead. There's no life, there's no movement, nothing's happening, right? It's not even about the conditions being contrary, they're just blah. He's just tired and frustrated and sick of it. There's no life, there's no movement, there's no evidence whatsoever that your desires are manifesting and that your dreams are already coming true. There's no evidence. That's the moment, hear this, or the time when you have never been more powerful. Never been more powerful. That's why saying it again, thank you, just when you're sick and tired, moves mountains, creates miracles, right? Manifests everything you want in your life. This is so powerful. That's the time or the moment to say thank you. Say thank you some more. To say it again, I am that I am. To continue to take a stand in your awareness that you already are that which you desire to be no matter what. To know that you are always heard, that your prayers are always answered, that your desires and wishes are always fulfilled. This is what we had. We even went into the story of Lazarus, right? Lazarus, one of the greatest miracles in Scripture, perhaps the greatest, other than Jesus resurrecting himself, right? Was the dead. 4 days Lazarus was dead. 4 days, right? Jesus deliberately waited 4 days because remember, we've had that discussion that after 3 days, it is said that the spirit leaves the body. So if it goes on longer than 3 days, in this case 4 days, then you're dead. It's impossible then for the spirit, that was their belief back then, for the spirit to return to the body. Once it leaves the body, you're dead. Right? But Jesus commands, remove the stone. In other words, it's denial of those past thoughts and assumptions of disbelief, of doubt, of lack of faith, of non-fulfillment. Right? You're denying them. The 3D circumstances seem permanent. They seem immovable. They seem dead. Right? It seems like your fate is sealed. Right? That the script is written, that the fate is sealed. Right? The script is written from A Course in Miracles. The dark circumstances of the tomb. Right? Lazarus being in the dark, dim tomb. The circumstances seem dark and negative and unwanted. But that's the moment to deny all of that. That's the proper use of denial. You're not denying that this is a potential reality or potential conditions that are appearing. You're denying the reality of them, saying, wait a minute. I can believe. I can say it again. Thank you. Right? I'm not going to kill my desires and dreams anymore. They're not dead. Nothing can confine my love and gratitude. Right? That's the whole significance of remove the stone. The stone can't confine your love and gratitude when you say it again. But you've been allowing that stone to cover up. You've been sitting there in the darkness of nothing moving, nothing changing, where your dreams and desires seem dead. But now you can say it again, thank you, and remove that stone. Right? There's no reality to those conditions. Right? Nothing can confine your love and gratitude. Just like the stone couldn't confine Lazarus. Right? That's powerful. No matter how dark the circumstances or conditions of the 3D world of limitations and separations, represented by the cave that Lazarus was in, his tomb, that seems confined and sealed like your fate, right? By time, 4 days. Remember, we think a lot of time's gone by. It's been months of no contact. Nothing's going on. It seems impossible. Right? Nothing is impossible with God. So, it seems impossible, but nothing's impossible to your I am awareness. Nothing's impossible to expressing that gratitude and love unconditionally and that faith. Your awareness of already being that which you desire and already having that which you want. Not even your own disbelief, right, can keep you confined to those dead conditions, those things that seem unmovable. Right? No time. It doesn't matter. 4 days. Right? Remember, it's believed that after 4 days, after 3 days, the spirit leaves. It's dead. It seems impossible. Even Martha, the sister of Lazarus, said, Lord, by this time there will be a stench, for he has been dead for 4 days. The conditions stink. Right? Everything's stinking. There'll be a stench. He's been dead for 4 days. In other words, the circumstances reflect your dreams and desires that they are dead. It seems impossible to resurrect those dreams or desires. Right? Doubting the Lord or the law, like Martha. She's doubting the Lord or the law of assumption, the law of being, the law of reality creation, the law of consciously creating and calling forth and commanding your reality. Even though you know even though you know the power of the law of assumption, of creating your own reality, of your I am awareness to resurrect and fulfill your every dream and desire. Even when you know that, you doubt it. That's powerful, just like Martha here. So it's that moment, though, that moment of doubt when you're never more powerful. Remember, in the story of Lazarus, you're playing all the parts. Jesus as your I am awareness. Martha doubting the law, right? Lazarus, the conditions that seem dead. You seem dead to the conditions, right? Not grateful, not standing in your faith, making everything conditional. You're never more powerful to believe or to be aware that you're already that which you desire to be, no matter how dark or dead or impossible the circumstances appear. The moment it's the moment to double down on gratitude. As the shaman said, say it again. Just when you're sick and tired of it, double down. Double down on your awareness of being that person you already desire to be. knowing that you're always heard, you're always fulfilled, you're always complete, you're always whole, you're always healed, you're always life and more life, no matter what. Jesus says, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. John 11:41. In other words, say it again. Believe or be aware anyway, despite the conditions. Knowing that your higher self, that God within you always hears you, that your dreams are always unfolding. It's a knowing and conviction of being I am that I am. No matter what I imagine, what I affirm, what I assume, what I'm thankful for, what I love is unfolding. It's gratitude as the center of the divine mind, right? As the center, the individualized center of the divine mind or the Father or reality, right? I knew that you always hear me, but because of the people standing around, I said it so that they may believe that you sent me. John 11:42. In other words, for my doubt, the people standing around are you as well. The doubting you, the one that has lost faith, the one that's sick and tired of saying thank you, the one that's sick and tired of the conditions not changing, immovable, of the dead conditions. You say it again anyway, even though you know that you're heard. Right? But there's that doubting you, the one that's believing in those dead conditions, believing that that the time has passed, that the script is written, right? That the fate is sealed by the tomb, by the stone against the tomb, right? That's powerful. Remember, hear this, because we had this discussion yesterday. It's not about praying and giving, it's not only about praying and giving thanks. It's about commanding and affirming you're already that which you desire to be. In other words, expressing that gratitude and love and commanding what you want, calling forth what you want, assuming it and affirming it, that you're already that what you desire to be, with the absolute power and authority that you, conscious awareness, are focused in the physical 3D experience is one with all that is. That you, as that I am awareness, that conscious awareness that I am who I say I am, focus in the 3D world experience is one with all that is, or the Father, or the great I am, or that great subconscious. And that your focus, that your attention, that your assumption, affirmation is the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. Hear it again. It's not only about praying and giving thanks. It's about commanding, affirming that you are already that which you desire to be, with the absolute power and authority that you, as conscious awareness focused in the 3D physical world experience, is one with the Father, or all that is, or reality, or existence, the great I am, the great isness, the great subconscious. And that your focus, that your attention, that your assumption and affirmation is the resurrection in the life. In other words, I'm the resurrection in the life. You're not waiting in time for the law or the Lord to work. Because you know the law or the Lord, you're one with it. It works through you and as you. This is what it says in Scripture. And just as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, even so the Son also gives life to whom he wishes. It says it right here in Scripture. Yes, the Father, the greater subconscious, that creative medium, that great subconscious, that great I am, gives the life, forms the conditions, creates those realities. But so don't you, as that conscious awareness, as the center of God consciousness, in your physical experience, even while you're focused there. Even so, the Son also gives life to that whom he wishes. You as the Son of God and the Son of Man. Your wish fulfilled, your desires are yours. That's powerful. It's that understanding and knowing that you are the operant power, the conscious center, the conscious individualized center of the one divine mind, the Father. The Father who does the works through you and as you. You're not speaking, praying, affirming, expressing gratitude on your own authority, but as one with all that is. So you're not just praying, affirming, expressing gratitude on your own authority, trying to get something to happen out there, but one with the Father are all that is. The words, this is what Jesus says, the words that I speak to you, I do not speak on my own authority, but the Father who dwells in me does the works. Wow! Do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? So the words that I speak to you, I do not speak on my own authority, but the Father who dwells within me does the works. That's powerful. In other words, just say it, express it, affirm it, assume it, express gratitude and love. Some more and more and more as source. That's what you do when you've lost faith and you just don't believe anymore. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, and for being part of our membership channel. We should be announcing it today, the end of the month, live stream on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. Start sending your questions if you haven't to info@besomethingwonderful.com. The topics you want to cover, the questions you want to ask. I'm also going to answer those on the live stream on the membership channel at the end of this month. Creators, so grateful, feeling so much love and gratitude. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Paula and Wendy and Fernando and Titi and Numar and all of you at Gaia, all the beautiful staff, Lauren and Katie and Alan and Alex. It goes on, and Muriel, all of them. So much love, so much compassion, so much gratitude for all of you at Gaia there in Cuenca, Ecuador. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.